So this is a 2025 Renegade Explorer 40 ERB. So this is a 2025 Renegade Explorer Model 40 ERB. I am going to do a walkthrough and orientation on this coach for you, so you can get up to speed on how to use most of the major systems. And by the way, my name is Frank, here with the RV Shop in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And please do me a favor and subscribe to my channel and give this video a like if you found it useful. But again, this is Frank at the RV Shop here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. All right, we're going to start our walkthrough here on the outside, on the left side, driver's side, exterior compartments. So this first one here is our battery compartment. So here we can see our engine batteries. You can see we got two starting batteries, and then we got these two huge AGM batteries for the house. These are I believe they're 8Ds. Also, you can see we have a number of electronic components in here. This is our airline fitting, right, for connecting your air hose. That should be on the other side. Now in this bay, we have a lot of Victron stuff. So we got two huge Victron inverters. These are two 3,000 watt inverters. We got our Victron Servo for our control systems for this Victron stuff. And this thing down here on the bottom, that is our Victron solar charge controller. All this stuff is integrated into the Firefly touch control system inside. This is equipped with a macerator system. So this white hose here, that's our city water connection, and also for filling your onboard tank, your freshwater tank. So you can dump the tanks a couple different ways. So you can dump it with using the macerator. That's what this is for. So you just put that into your dump, wherever that's going to be. You still have to open your tanks, black and gray, whichever one you're dumping. And you're going to fire up the flow jet here. See that red switch? That turns on the grinder, the pump and grinder. That's right here. So you can pump it out. However, if you do not wish to use the macerator system, some people don't like, they prefer the conventional 3.5 inch sewer dump. You can certainly do that. You just disconnect this stuff. So you can actually disconnect it from here and then just connect your sewer hose to this thing here, just like this instead of this. You can certainly do that. Additionally, here we have a water filter hose. That's your outside shower hose. This has a connector that you can connect right there. And then on the other side's a spigot, like a sprayer. Of course, our dumps right there. There's our black tank flush. Now this green lever is basically to, so that green lever should be in the up position like it is, like I put it there, pointing towards city water. So normally you're going to use it like that in the up position. The only time you're going to move it down is when you wish to redirect water from the city water connection from your white hose into your fresh tank to top off your tank. Once you're done topping off that tank, then move the lever back up to the up position to resume normal operation. So you use it in the up position for city water and for using water out of the fresh tank. Once again, the only time you're going to use it down is to redirect water to fill your fresh tank. Hope that makes sense. Now, we also have here where we can see our tanks. And here, back here, hopefully it's not too loud because the generator is running, but we have our Awning 8,000 watt generator. You do have a start-stop switch out here as well as a breaker. So if you have your generator running but no 110 power inside, check that breaker. Then we have shore power. 50 amp shore power is on a reel. Electric reel, so it's manual pull out, power retract. Here's the big automatic transfer switch. You also have an outlet, a 20 amp outlet out here to help feed other stuff, right? And out here is your hitch. Now this is a very heavy duty hitch. This will handle up to 20,000 pounds here. That's the towing capacity for this rig. You also have a connection, that silver one right there. That is a connection for a Voyager camera. So if you're towing a trailer that's equipped with a Voyager camera, you can plug that in and that is viewable on the inside. Here, you got some extra tile. You got the hoses for your central vac system. That's where the bags go. You can actually connect that hose out here and vacuum out here if you needed to. These are glad hands. Now the glad hands attach back here where those brass connectors are. That's if you're going to be towing a trailer that's equipped with air brakes. Otherwise you're not going to use those. So it comes with an ottoman. It's got storage built into it. These things right there are the slide locks. Those are used to lock the slides in the closed position in the event that you have an issue. Normally you're not going to use those. However, you're going to use those if you're having an issue with a slide, and that'll keep it locked inside until you get to until you can get to a service location and get it looked at. It's equipped with a keyless entry system where you can set your code. Here's our AquaHot system. So our AquaHot system is going to provide all our hot water as well as cabin heat. It does both. Normally you're not really going to have much to do here. You just every now and then you want to eyeball this thing and make sure the water is between the cold and hot levels there. There's a little touch screen here, or you can view different bits of information on the system. Keep in mind, you're going to want to service this at least once a year. And service will usually consist of, they do a flush and replacement of this fluid. They're going to replace that filter that's in there, as well as replace the burner that's deep inside. It is recommended this be done at a shop that has a trained, certified AquaHot technician. Out here is our outside TV. It's got a sound bar built in. Well, not built in, but it's got a sound bar. It's got a JBL sound bar, and this is a Samsung TV. Now this does pull out. You can pull it out and articulate it in different directions. This is a little high, so if you're short, you're going to need a step stool to get this closed. Does of course lock. This big storage bay is actually one long bay. You can see it continues there. There's our air hose. Remember that port I showed you, the airport on the other side? Not an airport for like airplanes, but an air connection, right? So that connects on the other side. You can use that to air up your tires or anything else you want to connect to the end of it. And you also have an outlet. That's a 20 amp outlet. You can run any kind of cords and stuff out through that little cover. Remove that cover. This rig is also equipped with Starlink. That's the box right there for the Starlink system. Then of course this rig has a single fill. You don't have the dual saddle tanks. You got one tank, and it's right here, 120 gallon tank right here. So you don't have to mess with the dual tanks. DEF fluid goes there. This coach of course has a master disconnect for the chassis. So you can see right there, on, off. So if you're putting it in storage for a long time, you might want to turn that off. Otherwise, ideally, this coach is left plugged in, right? Always make sure you close your doors properly, because if you don't close them all the way, if they're slightly ajar, this thing will start honking the horn and making all kinds of ruckus. So now we're gonna hop inside. Of course, can't help but notice this humongous awning, right? This Girard awning. It's an electric awning. It's got a wind sensor built into it. And you can control that from the Firefly touch panel inside. If not, you can also control it from this panel. And there's also an emergency backup location to retract it in case any of these are not working. So coming in right off the bat, you're going to see this. This is your battery disconnect switch. So that must be on if you're using stuff. You also have the entry step switch. So flipping that switch up will allow the step to be locked in the out position. That way you're not waiting on it to go in or out. Then you got your e-start button there. Kind of hard to see. The e-start button will link our house batteries and our chassis batteries together in case that one battery bank was dead and we needed to provide assistance to the other bank. Like I said, it'll work in either direction. Simply holding it. So when you do that, you do have to hold it. One person would have to hold it while somebody try to start the engine or start the generator. It would be a two-person operation because this is a momentary switch. Somebody's got to hold it, and while you're holding it, it's like throwing a pair of jumper cables between the battery banks. Now in here, you have your breaker box, right? You got two breaker boxes. These are 110 breaker boxes. Resettable breakers, just like you would have at home. And then this is like a little coat closet. You got this little control panel right by the entry that gives you access to some of the common things you might need. There's a master light switch on and off, as well as the awning extend and retract button. Then you do have storage. This button turns on the lights in the storage compartments below, and ceiling lights in here, porch light, different things that you might need here by the entry. So this is what the coach looks like with the slides closed. So you can see you do have access to this half bath here, as well as access to most stuff. But we will go ahead and open that for you. Now when you open your slide, just make sure you have one of the front cab doors open, or this entry door, or a window. Something needs to be open, because it's going to be moving a lot of air while it opens. Okay, so here on the inside we have our theater seating. The rear seating has storage. It's electric, so you got adjustment there, as well as a USB port on each side. Shades are manual. So you simply give it a tug. You can see we got day shades and night shades, MCD shades. Got another control panel there. Here's our dinette. And our dinette does come down to make this into a bed if you need an additional place to sleep someone. That lever that you see underneath, you just flip that lever over to the left and that'll release the table to go down. And when you put it back up, just simply lift it and flip the lever to the right to lock it in place. You can see you have outlets with USB-A and USB-C connections built into them. The refrigerator is a Samsung residential refrigerator. It is 110 powered. So when you're on the road, if you don't have your generator, the inverter will provide all the power you need to keep this guy going down the road without having to operate your generator. It does have this locking system, so pull that out, otherwise these doors will not open. This compartment up here is you have storage, plus you have your Wi-Fi Ranger connected there. It should be in your manual, but as you can also look at the label that's right there, it's got the password and Wi-Fi ID that you need to use when setting this up. Overhead, you have antenna, and then this is to connect the WineGuard Connect 2.0 system, the WineGuard Connect system that's on the roof for internet if you want to subscribe to the internet. This is like an override. There's a switch that you can control the lights from, but you also have an override for these cab lights up above. Now this up here, you can see the wires tucked in there. This is the pre-wired for a CB. If you wanted to add a CB, the coach also has a pre-installed CB antenna already. Now in this compartment, you have storage, but these white boxes, so these are for the awning, right? So in here, if you look at this, you can't really see it, but there's 3 buttons here on the side of it. So if you could not get your awning in because the Firefly system was not working for whatever reason, or that other switch panel by the side, this has buttons here on the side. The middle button is a stop button, then you have an in and an out to move the antenna. This is your backup should those not be working for whatever reason. Now these are drawers that pull out under here, so you do have some storage under there. You have your convection microwave with a little travel lock. That's got to be engaged when you travel, or recommended to be engaged. Then you have your induction cooktop. You got to have induction cookware, otherwise this will not work. Remotes. These are little tools for the awning, to adjust the awning, make adjustments to the awning. Normally you're not going to have to use those, or to keep those with your manuals. Touch-up paint, some slide lube for some of the seals. It's like lithium spray. I'm sorry, not lithium spray, silicone spray. In here, more storage, and that is the subwoofer that's part of the sound bar that's right there below the TV. Our sink, large single basin sink. And up here, that's all the manuals for the rig. You have a separate set of manuals for the generator and chassis for the Freightliner section of thing, portion of things. So 2 sets of manuals, a lot of manuals. Now this TV, pull this strap, this thing opens, and you can swing it out. you can get access to these cabinet doors to this little bit of hidden space back there. There's another one on that side. So like I said, TV and built-in sound bar. It's also got connections in there. You want to connect the satellite system. There's your coax cable and HDMI plug. If you connected a satellite there, you know, a satellite box, like a direct or a dish network box, that would be plugged into, you know, obviously this TV, but the one in the back would be plugged into the back TV and the outside TV. So those would share a box. Fireplace. Fireplace is not just for looks, it also creates heat. It's up to 5,000 BTUs of heating from that electric fireplace. This is a temperature sensor for the Firefly touch control system that we'll talk about more here in a bit. Toilet is an electric flush toilet. So see the control panel, you got eco, normal, and empty. Eco will do like a mini flush. Normal is probably the mode most people will be using all the time. And empty is to empty the bowl for travel. And here we see another control panel that's got commonly used items you might need here in the bathroom, like for your controls for the vent fan that's up above, as well as water pump button, ceiling light, accent light. It's all bathroom stuff. So now in the bedroom, and in here, another connection for another cable box or satellite box. Like I said, this one right here, if you added a box here, the signal from this will be shared between this TV here and the outside TV. The rest of those are storage. Now here's the bed. Note, below the bed you have your connection for your central vacuum system. Now under the bed we do have our water tanks. Those live under the bed. Our water pump is also under there. And that, see that handle, that T handle? That is to drain your water tanks. If you pull that handle up, that'll open the valve that'll dump the contents of your fresh water tank below, behind the rear axle underneath the coach. And then you got a ceiling fan control for that right there. It can also be controlled from the touch control screen, the Firefly system over there. There's also another control panel right there for some of these other components that are back here, including a start-stop switch for the generator, the outlets on either side of the bed, 110 power plus USB-A and USB-C. Now back in the bathroom area, our shower. When you travel, very important, make sure this lock is engaged, because this is real glass. And if you don't lock that, this could literally shake itself to a million tiny little pieces. Another electric toilet, just like the one in the half bath. Another control panel with commonly used items you might need back here. And in here, we have a washer and dryer, full size. How about that? There's, of course, another vent fan. All right. Now, your air conditioners, this coach has 2 air conditioners. There's one that lives right above here, above this decorative cover. We have, of course, our vents and whatnot. There's another one that lives above here. Now you see that handle, or you see that label that says pull ring to release door. So under this door, let's see if I can do this with one hand. Oh, there you go. Good job, Frank. So now that gives us access to our filters if we wanted to clean the filters. That's how we could remove them. Now, we've covered most of everything I wanted to cover. We are going to cover the Firefly system. So here on the Firefly system, basically you have these control knobs here on the side. Or I'm sorry, you have these icons here on the left side. So we have home, gives us access to things. We can see our fresh water tank, gray tank, black tank. We can turn our water pump on and off. Tank heaters are basically thermal blankets that are glued to the underside of these tanks to keep them from freezing if you're camping in cold weather. Generator, we can see, is running. We can enable and disable the AGS system, or the automatic generator start system, from here. Normally defaults to being off. We can also view our batteries here, house battery, chassis battery, see where they're at. Typically I just look for green. So if it's green, the battery bank is happy, right? If it's yellow, that means it's low and needs to be recharged, either by running generator, plugging in the shore power, one of the two. Then we can see our air conditioners are on. This is not to turn them on or off. This is just to view the status. We can see the back is reading 71 degrees. The front is reading 77. The little blue snowflake tells you that the compressor is on. Aqua Hot is currently running. The burner is on, and the electric part of it is on. We also have a light master that we can turn off all the lights with. Next icon is lights. Here we have an interior master and a front master, and we can select here for rear lighting, exterior lighting. We can control basically all the lights from here. This electrical page tells you electrical stuff, right? It just normally you're not going to have to interact with this screen. It's just showing you information that might be used to help you if you're having issues with something. Here it shows us our power source is generator. That's what we're hooked to. That's what's currently running. We have line 1, line 2. The 50 amp service is made up of 2 lines of 110 coming in. Those are represented here and here. So line 1 feeds the front half of the coach. Line 2 feeds the back half of the coach, right? And that goes in here to our transfer switch, and it's being distributed to our breaker box, and it goes to the inverter charging system and goes out to our batteries. Like I said, normally you don't have to interact with this. Here, this next icon is our air conditioning front, air conditioning rear. The blue means that that's what's currently on. Air conditioning, if I turn on heat pump, that'll give us, each air conditioner is also a heat pump. That means it provides electric heat up there. So you can turn that on from here, or we can use our Aqua Hot system. See that? You can even use all 4 at the same time if you needed a lot of heat very quickly. So you would have to have your generator on or be plugged in the shore power to use the heat pump. So the Aqua Hot does not need to have 110 power. You could run it just the burner with no generator or shore power. However, if you want to run the Aqua Hot at its highest setting with Aqua Hot burner and electric, then you do need to have the generator or shore power. And that's going to provide your hot water as well as cabin heat. So now next screen is this right here, this little snowflake looking thing. That is for our ceiling fan that's in there. So I can turn it off from here. And then we can jump over to this next screen, which is our slides. We can control all the slides from here. Front slide, the front left, front right, left rear, right rear, and then leveling. We can level the coach from here. To level it, all you simply do is hit auto level. It does it for you. You just got to stay still while that is doing its thing. Don't move about the cabin, otherwise this thing will not level correctly. When you get done and you're ready to leave, all you have to do is come to the system, hit all retract, and it will retract the legs for you. If this thing ever says excessive slope, do not use the jacks. Move the coach or do not use the jacks. Make sense? And lastly, our settings page. Here you can adjust a bunch of different settings. Cleaning mode will turn off the screen for 15 seconds to allow you to wipe the screen. You can see the diagnostic stuff is mainly for technicians, so you can set the time. And then we can use our mobile app here. This is equipped with the Vega Touch Eclipse system, which allows it to work not only by Bluetooth within 20-30 feet of the coach, but also by internet, by Wi-Fi, if the coach is connected to Wi-Fi. Download this app that you need, the Vega Touch Eclipse app, by scanning this QR code. They'll allow you to download the app, and then it'll scan for devices, and make sure you select on the one that's your coach using that ID number. It'll ask for a PIN number. Enter that PIN, and once it does a firmware update after downloading, this entire system will now be on your phone. Hopefully that makes sense. That's going to almost bring us to the end. Right now, I just want to cover a couple things here in the cab. Whenever you fire it up, you're going to see that message displayed there. It says max throttle detent during ABA overrides Detroit assurance. That is normal. You're going to see that every time. So up here, the transmission is controlled through here. See that? Drive, neutral, reverse. You got your big yellow knob for the air brakes, trailer brakes there in the red. Differential lock will lock the differentials. This is to dump the air in the airbags manually. Normally that happens automatically when you level. Then you got a number of other switches for utility lights, traction control, as well as a cigarette lighter. Imagine that, they still have cigarette lighters. And then air conditioning controls, and then your touch screen backup camera. And this entire system is just a bunch of fantastic information. This is all by Mercedes-Benz. Pretty neat system. So you've got USB-C ports up here. Then your seat controls, it's got airbags underneath the seat, so this thing will lift up or go down. But at any rate, well, that's going to bring us to the end of this video. Once again, my name is Frank with the RV Shop here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Please remember to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as always, I hope you have a fantastic day.